Christie. I want to bring in and say good morning to Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the Republican National Committee. Sean, it's good to see you this morning, and obviously the sun is out there. It's a much better day to get things back in order. The keynote speaker tonight, Chris Christie. As history proves, many keynoters, they then run the next cycle for president. And Christie, he was asked about the content of his speech on the Today Show this morning. I want to remind everybody, take a listen. All right, unfortunately, we don't have the content of that speech, but what was asked about him is whether or not he's going to address the tough love stance that he's taken in New Jersey to try to get problems within that state under control. One thing that was heralded when he signed up to speak there was his unemployment number. Now, New Jersey currently at 9.8%. It's higher than the national average. So the governor saying that the phrase Jersey comeback, that's not going to be part of his speech tonight. Do you think he's going to need to tone down that tough love persona, since that's not working as an example in New Jersey right now, what he puts in his speech tonight?
Well, one of the other things that Governor Christie did is he came into a state that had a high deficit and tackled his state's finances without raising taxes. So I think that's another accomplishment. I mean, there are several things that Governor Christie's been able to accomplish as governor. I think what he's going to talk about is his ability to get things done and how Mitt Romney will do the same thing as President of the United States, looking at the problems this country faces, namely the economy and jobs, and how Governor Romney will put a plan in place to put people back to work and get this economy moving again.
Certainly there's a lot of curiosity about the tone that Chris Christie will provide tonight. He was also asked this morning on Morning Joe right here on MSNBC about the joke that Mitt Romney made last Friday about the birth certificate of the president. Let's take a listen.
I think if you get a chance to talk to Governor Romney, I think he'd tell you that he wishes he could take that one back.
That was basically Mitt Romney making the joke about himself in Michigan, saying no one needs to look for his birth certificate there. We deal with this hurricane right now, Sean, as a country. The president just gave a speech talking to people from the White House in the last hour about not tempting fate down along the Gulf Coast. Given the fact that the joke didn't go over so well, have you recommended, or has the RNC recommended, that people try to axe any type of birther jokes from the podium as we watch the speeches?
Well, first of all, the question was, what the governor said in Michigan last week was he was in Michigan. He was noting the fact that he was born there. Mrs. Romney was born there. It was a lighthearted moment. I think to read too much into it is just doing that. What the governor will talk about, and what I think almost all of our speakers entirely will be talking about over the next 3 days, is the governor's plan, the governor's vision, how he wants to move this economy forward, how he wants to tackle things like energy policy, health care, education, things that are important to Americans out there. So, I mean, I think you're going to see a very focused convention the next 3 nights with all of our speakers talking about the metrics and the plans that Governor Romney has to get this country going, but also to add a little bit of understanding as to who he is as a person. As you mentioned in the intro, Mrs. Romney will be speaking tonight. She will be able to speak as a wife and as a mother what type of person Governor Romney's been beyond the 30-second commercial, and give folks who maybe haven't been focusing on the election right now an opportunity to understand what a great husband he's been, what a great father to the 5 boys that they have he's been, and add some of that, you know, if you will, color to who he is sort of going forward.
Certainly is a high-powered lineup tonight for you guys, Sean, and I'm glad to see
Every night we've got a great 3 days.
But tonight is the big kickoff. I know you guys were in recess out of respect for what's taking place with the storm, of the abundance of caution, but it looks like things are going to pick up there in Tampa for you, and we'll all be watching. The RNC, Sean Spicer. Sean, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.